Okay, I just wanted to speak quick. Venus is at 0 degrees 32 minutes of Taurus right now. Now Venus is at home in Taurus. So think of Aries as Mars, Taurus as Venus, Pisces as the void of potential. Something's coming through Pisces always because kind of if you think of the tarot, the wheel, the cycle, it's spirals, ups, downs, ins, outs, whatevers. There's always new spirit rising, and the spirit always carries a remembrance of being happening. And we are the doing of it, in a way. So where this yin calls the yang to form in Mars, this I, where the ego will and the divine will are balanced through your life, through the language where passion is the focal energy. And then because of that, there's a selfish need, the sense of self in relation. And we're learning how to balance what that is with the other, with this world. And so there's this compromise with Venus. You either give or take too much in different dynamics of life. And because of our conditions, our experiences, the things which stick in us, the dings in the bell, all these different dings are reverberating in you and they're all trying to shake out, but they're hitting each other and they're bouncing back until they fade. So with Venus here, it's like when it starts to fade enough to where you can start to make out the harmonies, the melodies, then you can use that. You can understand what the compromise is in relation to who you are now. And it's, I feel most people in life, we're learning how to handle the power of our own will. Because we haven't seen many good examples, we don't necessarily think it can be done, at least not in resonance with this kind of a world. So we feel the need of change. And of course, everyone's human, good and bad. They all feel it, and they all feel these energies in ways which is specific to help their spirit express. They express for themselves and they express for all of this, for us. It's all just ringing in existence. So compromises, a lot of compromises are good because they're what we understand at that time. And then through life we're given these experiences, we're learning when the compromise is authentic and when it's for a falsehood, for ego, for luxury, for simplicity. And the luxury and the simplicity and all that's not all bad. That's part of what we do as we grow as a species and societies create new things, and we evolve that way, mutate in different ways. And so we're given these opportunities where we can have these things called luxury and fight with the vices to understand different type of spirit in life. So there's all these things happening, and these things, these dynamics which arise out of these spirits, create systems in relation, and all this friction falls into the red tape and all the contrast in the legal system and in the war on consciousness, which is basically natural because it's chaotic. So the compromise thing, Venus, now with Mars heading into 0 Aries, the Aries point, in reciprocity with Omega, where we'll be passing the mirror, the gaze, the distortions of what were in relation to what could be. You can embody what that is in the here now. Basically, you can set intentions through these energies for yourself. And that's basically better for everyone else. If you can pull away from the hypnosis of the trance and you can embody a spirit in this world and see what the world calls you to form with rather than what you get in the gaze of the old ways, hypnotic suggestion simply through observation. It's we have to be aware of where we put our energy and our attention now. This is where, stare into the abyss and it stares into you, stare into the light and it stares into you. If you try and stare into the light of yourself, then you bring that out. You find it out there. And that's what the world ultimately needs, requires. Because we're more of what that is. It's always going to be happening. It doesn't have to be competition. It falls into harmony. But, cycles, seasons, energies, feel into where you're at right now, where you can be. Don't compromise what you truly hold sacred in these times. We've got all these big cycle energies. Whatever you do in this time is like 1,000-fold powerful for you. It's calling the ancestors, the energy of the ancestors out. That's why the retribution and all these energies are spurring up right now. And remember, the world is hypnotic suggestion. All things are possible here. So being possible for yourself is a good undertaking right now. Because that's better for everyone. So learning the power, this is the Black Moon Lilith energy, balancing, calibrating the taboo, what has been repressed, bringing it to light, being able to hold the fire without burning the world or yourself. That's what we're doing now. We're learning that. And it looks many different ways for people because we're all in different relation to existence because of our experiences, essentially. But we share common energetics, which is that repression. Do we hold it? Do we push it on another? Do we transform it? Do we repress it and have it possess us, feed into the machinery? So you can release that spirit. You can exercise the repressions within you. masculine or feminine. And you can do it in simple ways. I think doing it the Venusian way is probably the best. Now she also rules Libra, where Saturn is exalted. Saturn is in a working transformative quincunx in conjunct with Black Moon Lilith. She's just breaking out of it. She may be back. And I'm using the true Lilith. So think of Venus as like the key, essentially. Don't compromise your power, yourself, what you value. Don't compromise the student mind, the student heart. Don't allow your experiences and the circumstances to define you more than you would define yourself. We're not even aware. It's just epigenetic. We're being called to form through relation to this world. Right, so Mars, the beta point. This is the transformation of Mars. And it's the work of Venus which is bringing... when you show yourself a value, respect, honor yourself, understand you're wounded and you're healing through life. You don't have all the language, no one does. But you can follow your desires in a way which benefits you, honors you, and is good for everyone, essentially. Because you're not looking to take from another or try and clamor to something that is no longer in resonance with you. So that simple understanding sparks the fire as Mars enters into Aries. Mars carries that spirit. It's being reborn, the Fool. The passion is burning through the impurities here. How that may look in this world and society is just more sensationalized stuff. It's just there's so many layers and proxies that all things are possible now. And that's because as you add complexity to a system, you add the overhead of administrative management. And so a simple way to do that is to make lowest common denominator values commonplace, accepted, and part of the tribe's mind. So you do not make expectations very high. Then people are thankful to still have a job, and etc. So it's like this. It's some kind of weird thing happening. But we got to happen for ourselves. And that's how it's always been. At least now we can see it. Prior to these days, these years, people were so deep asleep. So this is a good sign, actually. The insanity is a good sign. Then you can see how insane the world actually is. And be the sanity for yourself. Find it within. How do you get it? In that process, I believe that's where you find the value of yourself and what you've compromised for and what that can be. You carry that spirit forward. Right, well, that's all I wanted to say. So, thanks for watching, listening, and being